Facebook is not just a way to keep in touch with your friends from high school, nor a place to just argue with a bunch of random strangers online. In fact, over the last couple years, I've been able to close over $1 million in sales just by finding clients using Facebook, and I didn't spend a single dollar on ads to get this result. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you exactly how you can do the same. So before we begin, please like, comment, and subscribe if this is the type of content that you're into. I'll be releasing a ton more videos about growth hacking and about how to scale your business in the coming weeks as well. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is make your profile professional. You do not want your Facebook profile to look like what it used to look like in high school when you're trying to prospect to your potential clients, because if they see a bunch of drunk pictures of you playing beer pong, I don't know if that's gonna actually win you over any brownie points. So here's actually a quick look into my profile. We've essentially optimized this so that my profile picture is professional. My cover photo essentially talks about what it is that I do at a very high level. I go through my quick social links. I provide even a link into my primary website. And then if you look through my feed, it's all for the most part professional content, whether it be sales content and explainer videos, testimonials. We actually have lots and lots of testimonials here talking about how clients have been able to scale to over 100K a month using our services. And at the same time, you don't want to just be doing business content, because then it makes you feel a little bit too much like a work robot. So that's why on occasion I still do personal based content, talking about my families, about my travels, about my dreams and ambitions and whatnot. And you can actually see here, some of them I get pretty vulnerable. So that's actually sometimes the most engagement that I get in all of my posts. And it doesn't necessarily convert to clients, but it does build goodwill. And when people see me in their feed, it builds a sense of comfort and commonality. So that is something that is really important overall to have. Now, in terms of how you even get engagement in the first place, I know that's a pretty big question because a lot of you don't have any leads in your existing friends. So what you want to do is start actually interacting with people who could, in theory, be your customers. So you need to essentially find these brand new people outside of your existing communities on Facebook. So where do you go for that? Well, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to start joining other Facebook groups. All right, so there are going to be lots and lots of Facebook groups which actually have your ideal customer base. So for example, SaaS Growth Hacks is a 31,000 person strong community just for SaaS founders and CEOs. But you can actually find communities about almost anything, about fitness, about homesteading, about pretty much anything under the sun. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into these groups and you can start actually sharing valuable content. Now, do not sell. Do not try to pitch your products. Don't do anything that's going to get you banned, because obviously if the admins of these groups see that you're trying to promote your own products, they're not going to be very happy. But if you're actually adding value and you're sharing strong experiences and you don't actually have a call to action that is trying to get someone to DM you or book a call with you, then you'll be fine. So I'm not going to make you read this entire post. It's actually pretty technical. I talk a lot about how I drove sales for myself and the way in which I use cold outreach. But at the end, I'm not actually trying to pitch anything. I'm just saying, hey, yeah, send me a friend request, drop a comment below, and that's pretty much it, right? So you can see the amount of engagement that I've been able to get. A lot of this stuff goes viral, and I have post after post after post of content that has gone viral in other people's groups. And a lot of the times people will actually DM me even though I don't ask for it, right? An example of that might be Clifford here, actually. He sends me a connection request here. And if you look at the conversation that I have with him, he actually he sends me a friend request, and he's literally just reaching out and asking more about my services. So it was pretty easy for me to book a sales call with him, and we ended up working together. So that's really, really great. Now, there's other methods as well. I actually think that eventually building your own Facebook group makes a ton of sense. Because the issue is relying on other people's Facebook group is they can ban you if they really want to, and you don't really control the audience as much as they do since it's ultimately not your tribe. Whereas when you build your own community, you are the face, you're the brand, you're the voice, and people will know, like, and trust you more. So that's why I actually recommend you take a lot of the friends that you've been able to make from joining other groups and you add them to your own group, and you eventually start your own little community here. And the benefit here is that actually becomes a lot easier for you to generate warm traffic. So for example, I just make this post real quick and I just say, hey, like, setters can benefit someone by booking more meetings, and here's essentially 4 reasons why that's the case. If you want a setter, just comment below and I'll hook you up, right? And all these people already know me, so they want to learn more. They're excited. I'm getting a good amount of reach to a totally free audience for me because I've built this community by myself. And a lot of these will eventually turn into customers. And that's really, really great, right? And there's other ways in which you can start to monetize your community on Facebook. For example, you can give away freebies. You can give away lead magnets. So here's actually an example. I made a PDF file that goes pretty deep into how to generate clients organically using social media. And I just make a very quick post to essentially advertise this lead magnet. And anyone who wants it, they can just comment below this word. And then one of my teammates, this is Thomas, one of my setters, they'll essentially just follow up with the lead in the DMs and they'll book a meeting. So you can actually see here, we had 96 comments in that post. So all these people, not only am I getting their email because I'm gonna ask for their email obviously when they try to get this download, but I'll also be able to generate like a conversation over the DMs where I can then further sell them and book them into a call. And even down to running masterclasses. So on Facebook Live, you can actually have a live webinar where you can interact with your community. So of course, you should spend a little bit of time to first promote your event on your Facebook group, hype it up, talk about all the things that they'll learn, get a bunch of people to actually sign up. And then once they've essentially signed up, you can then deliver a live presentation to them, which is going to be mostly value, but you can, of course, at the end of this webinar, make a bit of a call to action and get them to book a call or buy a product of some kind. And Facebook groups are great because you can actually then store and archive all of those different live masterclasses or interviews or other lead magnets directly into the guide section, and then people can continue to consume it afterwards. So I actually have all these case studies, I have these interviews, I have these masterclasses, right? So people will continuously go here, read more, watch more content, and then every single time they do this, they're just learning more and more and more about my offer and about, generally speaking, how much I can help them with marketing and sales. So these are really, really great ways to actually generate more leads. Eventually, you're gonna start actually having so much brand recognition that people will even just start DMing you out of nowhere. For example, here, Daniel, he just hits me up totally cold and he says, one of his friends said, I'm the master of organic marketing. And these are the types of people that are really easy for me to jump on a call with and sell. And this was actually a 1-call close into a fully paid client. Now, a lot of what I've said so far is more so about warm and inbound content marketing, but there's also plenty that you can do with outbound outreach as well. So here's an example. You've once again find a Facebook group that has your audience. So clients and communities is the example here. They have nearly 50,000 members of mostly entrepreneurs, and I can go after them because they're my ideal fit. But the reality is 48,000 members is a lot of people. Not every single one of these people are actually going to be a good fit. And even if they were, it's just too many people for me to DM and message manually one by one. And that's where Pepper comes in. Pepper is actually this really cool tool that allows me to automate sending out friend requests and connection messages. And that way I can start these conversations with them and hopefully book a call. And the cool thing about Pepper is that you can actually filter based on the types of job titles that they have. You can also provide them the automated welcome message, and that way the machine can just send out that first DM. And after that, if there's a response, you can of course just manage it in the DMs. And by the way, if you actually do want to use Pepper for yourself to automate your Facebook, I actually have a link below and you can essentially try it out. and see if it'll actually help you scale your business just like it helped scale mine. Now, regardless of how you actually generate leads using Facebook, the reality is all of these methods will require a lot of DMing. And that's why it's important that once you get to a point in which you have 50, 100, 200 DM conversations every single day, that you don't end up letting this become the bottleneck of your business. Because if you do, then you no longer can scale. You can't be spending all your time having these conversations. So my recommendation is you actually hire an appointment setter who can take care of all the meeting booking for you in the DMs. Here's actually my appointment setting team, and they pretty much work around the clock, not just on Facebook, but also on Instagram and LinkedIn to generate sales calls. So if you're curious about how you can actually find these talented people for your own team, I actually have a video that talks extremely in depth about how you can do this from A to Z. Now, if you're curious about working with me directly, if you have some questions about how you could actually deploy Facebook or any other social media platform, or even install a team of appointment setters and sales reps so that you can scale your business, then just book a call in the description box below. And just like how Fernando here was able to use our services to help them scale past 6 figures a month, and Christopher, just like him, 100K a month, Ria as well, $90,000 a month, you can as well. We actually have clients that have broken 7 and 8 figures. I'm gonna be here, super excited to meet you, and cheers.